So Teams is a new thing that we are using at the library service desk, and all of the library staff members are on Teams during the day. And so this is a good way for us to communicate with one another, and also an easy place for us to post things that you use frequently. And so I really like Teams. I've been using it since March. So I wanted to share the CIRC service desk Teams and walk you through the things that are posted in it that will help make your job at the circulation desk a little easier. So let me share my screen. So I'm logged into Teams as the CIRC login. This is what you'll be logging in on up at the front desk when it's part of the things you should open in the morning. If you're opening, you should open Teams, you should open workflows, you should open the daily transaction record. This is just another thing. You shouldn't have to log in, and we don't want anybody to log in on their personal Teams. Login, it should only stay logged in as CIRC when you're on that main CIRC computer up there at the front. So when you log in, you're going to see that we have a team that's called Library Service Desk. A Library Service Desk, if you click on that, it takes you into our team. This board here is where Mrs. Henderson, myself, or Mr. Vaughn can post updates to you. So if we needed you all to have a message, I could post that here. The most recent thing I posted was the Textbooks on Reserve link and how to look those up, and also to let you know that 3 more textbooks are now available in that. And so it's not a bad idea to look and see if there are any new messages in here. This is like a bulletin board. So the thing that I've posted, anything that's been posted in here is always in here. And so it's set to Mrs. Henderson, I, and Mr. Vaughn are the ones who can post to that. So you may check here for messages from us. If we have any files, they'll be in this files list. We may occasionally upload something that you need to be able to get to, and this is where it would be. But on to the things that I think will be super helpful for you. So if you are on the phone and you're taking a telephone message, the telephone message web page is posted in Teams. If I'm taking a message for Mrs. Henderson, I can just click on her name. I'm going to go in and put in today's date, and then whatever time, we'll say it is 9 a.m. I'm going to put that in there. You can also just type in here if you need to. Then I'm going to put the caller's first name and last name here. A phone number is super helpful. It's not required, but it really should be. I need their number. You can always see the phone, the caller's number on our caller ID on the screen of your phone. And so you can also just ask them for a good phone number to call you back. If they have a company name, so sometimes a vendor will call and they will be trying to sell me something for the library. Dexter Evans is someone who calls quite frequently. He's from EBSCO, which is our database vendor. And so if you put in Dexter Evans and he said, this is Dexter from EBSCO, you could type in EBSCO down here. Get close on the spelling if you can. Now, if they are like called for you is going to be obvious. Please call back. If they say, I will call back, you can click that box. Otherwise, you could please call back. If they're returning my call, they might say, calling for Ms. Ponder, returning her call. You can click return call. If they say, oh, it's okay, I'll just send her an email. Go ahead, and if you know who called me, go ahead and let me know that they called. If they're leaving a message, you can do that. If it's urgent, if they must talk to me right now, go ahead and click urgent. If they leave a message, if they tell you, oh, I was calling to ask her about the textbooks on reserve, I'm just going to type in textbooks on reserve question. And then I'll know when I call them back what it was in reference to. They may not leave you a message. That's fine. Go ahead and put your initials in. This will help me know if I have a question. It helps me know who took the call. So I'm going to do a sample here. And 263. It does want it with the full number in there. And then I'm going to put that in, and let's review. So it lets you review before you submit. So you can look and see this is going to Mrs. Henderson. I called, and this is the information. Now I'm not going to submit, so I'm going to go back. Now, other things that are helpful up here. If you want to see what librarian is on duty, we're handling all of our reference questions on Zoom this semester since it's hard to meet with people at the reference desk with masks and screens and all of that. So if a student walked up to the front desk and they said, I need help with my research. If it was 11 a.m., I could look on here really fast and say, oh, Mr. Altno is the librarian who's meeting with people, but he's meeting with people on Zoom. And so you would give them one of the cards about Zoom reference so they have our number. And then you would pick up the phone and call Mr. Altno and let him know that somebody is about to call. Okay, sorry about that. So what this is helpful for, this screen is helpful to see who is on duty at reference. It generally stays the same, but it could be slightly different. The other thing you could do, so let's say that Mr. Altno is the librarian on duty when somebody comes up. Instead of calling him, you could switch over to the chat and his name is saved in here. And I could, Mr. Altno and someone needing reference on Zoom. I can hit send and that's going to send a message to him while he's on duty there. So you can do that as well. To get back to that screen, you'll notice I just clicked on Teams and then it opens back up. The student worker schedule is on here. So this is the same as the paper schedule that we have during the week, but we have, Hunter puts this in for us on Sunday evenings. And so you can see throughout the week who's on. If there is a question, if there's a difference, default to what the paper schedule says, default to what Mrs. Henderson says. This is just so I can quickly see and we can quickly see from anywhere who should be on duty at the desk. That doesn't mean that it hasn't changed on paper during the week and we didn't get it updated in the system. And so always default to what the paper version says, not what's on this. But this is a pretty easy way to kind of look and see who's supposed to be here without having to go up to the front to get the book. My availability is also up here. And so I know a lot of times I get phone calls and people aren't sure if I'm in the building or where I am. It defaults to showing you my monthly schedule, but if you'll change it today, you can see that from 12 to 1 today, that's my lunch break, from 12 to 1, it has this purple color here and it says away. So that means that I was out of the office. If it says away, it means I'm not here, I'm not on campus. If it says busy, that could mean I'm in my office and I'm busy doing something, I'm meeting with, usually it means I'm meeting somewhere with someone. So it could mean I'm in my office meeting. It could also mean that I'm across campus meeting. And so either one. Away usually means I'm not even on campus. Busy just means I'm in the middle of something. So if somebody called for me and you got on here and said, oh, it looks like she's not available right now, can I take a message? Then that is quicker than you trying to call me and me not answering and so on and so forth. So you can do that as well. The building count website is on here. So if for some reason the iPad has been a little funny this semester with the Wi-Fi, if for some reason it quits on you, you can still enter the count from here. We mostly want you to enter that on the iPad because we want you to walk around. But if for instance, like you entered it all on the iPad, but you couldn't get it to submit, you could retype it in at the desk once you got up there. You could put all that information in. Textbooks on reserve. This is just the website that we have on the library website. This is the web page with the information about textbooks on reserve, but I wanted you to have an easy way to see what's in there in case somebody comes up and asks. We have a print version of this at the desk, but it's also saved in Teams, so you can really quickly just kind of jump in there and look and see, oh, hey, what's actually available. So if somebody came up and asked if we had the textbook for a speech class, you can jump on communication, and right now it's not showing up. We will have two here pretty quick. If they wanted to know if we had the econ book, you can say, well, we have the book for macroeconomics. We do have it. And so you can go in and see what we have really quickly. You could also just get up and walk in there and look at the ship. So those are the options that we have up here at the top, posted in Teams. And the chat feature is over here. Green means that we are logged into Teams and available. Yellow means that we are away. X means that we're not logged in. So this is also where if you needed to send a message to the person sitting at the reference desk at night, LibRef is what they'll be logged in as, and so you could send them a message this way as well. Do keep in mind that we can see what you type, and other people will be logged in on this, so please do not send anything that would be inappropriate or unprofessional across Teams, but just know that it is possible. If you needed to send a message to the entire library staff, this all library is the chat that goes to everyone. So if I needed to send a message to everyone, because somebody needed to know, a lot of times I'll post something about an update about some building issue that we've been having. I've been writing about the crash bar at the front door. You may come back in and look at night and see if anything has happened on this chat as well, because that may be something for you there. So lots of things for you to check out there. Okay, so that is Teams. We want you to be logged in on it when you're at CERC. It is this purpley looking T down here at the bottom. It looks the same on your screen than it does on mine, and that's how Teams works.